for Hashem, a few thousand years, it's not a big deal. Esav is going to become also part of the Kedusha. You know that Esav is it's a converted Jew. Esav is a Jew, in essence. But it's not the ultimate purpose of creation. The ultimate purpose is Yaakov. So that shows us, that teaches us how much a person, even though he brought one kid to the world, he should bring another kid to the world. And after you bring the kid to the world, it's not finished. It's only, every day you should say, today is only the beginning, And in order to really bring a kid and more than one that will be tuned on that concept of Ichud Ma'uban, on being on the track of infinity, that their goal in their lives will be to bring another kid, and to bring a kid with enough education that to bring another kid. Okay, okay. So and even if a kid is not at first is not the best in that way, I mean, it's doing things that seems to be to avail. It seems to be not really building things that will last forever, that will continue forever. But how much we need to invest in those kids as well, and to see how they also fit somehow to the picture, because sometimes like for example Ishmael and Yitzchak, it says in the previous parsha that Ishmael had put Yitzchak in front of him. So that means that sometimes you're going to have like Issachar and Zvulun. Sometimes you're going to have Issachar and you're going to have Zvulun. Okay? It means that sometimes the way it says, like for example, if a person cannot be like full with meaning, and he goes on to the world, is dealing with the world, he become a merchant, let's say. So then, by supporting Torah and supporting the mitzvahs, he becomes also part of that. That's how he can manifest the idea of Yichud Ma'uban. And sometimes we need to be aware of that and not let go or push someone to something that is not him. We know that the Jewish education is to educate to Torah, but on the other hand, if a person, if he doesn't work, if the person is not, so then you educate him to Torah from a different direction, meaning you educate him how to connect the ban that he's going to deal with, because he's going to be more into the world. So to how to connect the world into Kedusha, instead of trying to make him like you are ma, that's what you are. You can educate him to be an agent of the ban, for the ban, to connect the ban with ma. So meaning, okay, you understand the language, because we already spoke about Ichud Ma and ban. So you can make, teach him how to, that everything in the world ultimately is supposed to serve a godly purpose. And if he's going to make a lot of money, or he's going to meet a lot of goyim, or he's going to, he's going to be a merchant with a lot of goods, he should know that eventually, to give charity to education institutions, and to help build buildings for and so on, and to become part of that idea, or that concept of Ichud Ma'uban. Okay, that was basically what Yitzchak was trying to do with Esav. He knew, it's not that Yitzchak didn't know who Esav was, but because he knew who Esav was, he said, Yaakov will manage. He knows. Yaakov is filled with a purpose. He knows exactly what he's here for. But Esav doesn't know. Esav is too into the physical, he's too into the world, and it's going to lose the sense of ma that he has. The ma that he has is very... Esav is a Jew. And the relatively Jews to the whole world, the Jews to the whole world, we are the ma, and the world is the ban. And Esav also was born to Yitzchak. Esav is a Jew, as Yaakov, they were born in the same stomach. So, but Esav Ma, the Ma in Esav was the light of Ma was very diluted. It was the tivus, the engagement with physicality was so strong that he was losing the light of Ma within him. It's there, but it was very diluted because of the tivus. He was, the physicality captured him. But the truth is that the physicality has a lot of attraction to it. Physicality attracts very. Why? The truth about physicality, the attraction that we have in physicality, is because the truth about it is that Ma is attracted to Ban because he sees that the only way he can manifest itself is to the Ban. So this is why he's drawn into Ban. The Ma is drawn into Ban because of that, because he sees that this is his only chance to manifest, to be manifested. But sometimes we fall into the darkness, we fall into the ban, and we lose the purpose. We get immersed into the ban, and we lose the purpose. And that's why Rivka had to come to Yitzchak. Yitzchak had to prepare himself for a longer time, and on the other hand, Rivka had to come to Yitzchak, and not Yitzchak to Rivka. Because if Yitzchak comes to Rivka, it means that the Ma is going. There's a danger that the Ma is the light is going to be spreaded. It's going to lose its focus, and it's going to lose his knowing what needs to be done. So lechatchila, it says that the ban should come to the Ma. Lechatchila. Obviously, there's many stories, but the ultimate in the Torah, this is the ultimate one. This is where we learn from, that ban should come to the Ma. But in life, everything is possible. Sometimes the Ma has to come to the ban, and that's what the way it is. Rabbi Midovnik once told in he says he's a Baal Tshuva, and his wife grew up in Kfar Chabad. He said, it says in the Gemara that Hashem says who's going to marry who before we were born. So obviously Hashem said we're going to be married. But one of two could have happened. It's either I'm going to become Baal Tshuva and come to her, or she's going to go off derech and come to me. So she was strong, and I had to do tshuva in order to come to her. So sometimes the Ma, for example, the Ma comes to the ban. But relatively, maybe she was the Ma and he was the ban because he had no purpose. She has purpose. So I'm saying sometimes it's confusing. We're trying to say, but we learned that let's say a man is the Ma and the woman is the ban. And sometimes it's the opposite. Sometimes, and this is another chidush the Rebbe says in the Maimer. Sometimes just because the Ma, or not sometimes, all the time, just because the Ma is going into the ban, then the Ma finds its real purpose. Sometimes the Ma is walking around, a lot of light, and has no purpose. And only when he engages, he goes to shlichus, then he finds his true purpose. He thought he knew what his purpose was. We think we're holy and we know. Only when we engage the ban, and we see a kid coming out, now we understand. Before that, we thought we are light. We thought we have the light. Only when we engage physicality, then we really see the light. So that's supposed to encourage us, even though we are very religious and we know everything, we should go out to reach out, we should outreach, we should go to the other person and think, even though we think he doesn't know anything, we should engage him, and eventually we will feel this unity with another person, with the world, will bring the true light, will bring the true kids, the true fruits. We went through it a few times already. On one hand, there was no Jews before Matan Torah. On the other hand, Avram was the first Jew. So what it means is that us being Jews has to do with the fact that God chose us. It's nothing about us. We did not make ourselves Jews. This is the most important thing to understand. Even a converted Jew, he didn't make himself a Jew. God planted in him this soul. God chose him. And now, once God chose us, whether we like it or not, we're Jews. So this is what it means to be a Jew. a Jew it's not something that you choose. If someone chose to be a Jew, even if he is a Jew, but he thinks that he's a Jew because he chose to be a Jew, so he doesn't understand what it really means to be a Jew. To be a Jew, it means God chose you. And that happened only in Matan Torah. The choice of God was made in Matan Torah. אשר בחר בנו מכל העמים ונתן לנו את תורתו. Now, before Matan Torah, Avram was the preparation for Matan Torah. Avram Avinu climbed up to God. God did not choose him. He climbed up to God. This is how it went. So before Matan Torah, to be a Jew, it was a philosophical thing. Today to be a Jew is not philosophical. It's not just philosophies. To be a Jew is not a philosophy. Even if a person is totally against God, he's still a Jew. It doesn't matter. Not because he has these philosophies that identifies with Judaism, more or less, so that makes him a Jew, and if his philosophies does not match, so then he's not a Jew. But before Matan Torah, this is what it means to be a Jew. So to say that Esav was a Jew before Matan Torah, it meant that in essence, Esav knew the truth. That's what it means. Philosophically, Esav, in the head, it says that in the head, Esav was a Jew, meaning that's why the head of Esav is buried in Me'aras Machpelah. Because in his head he knew. The problem was that his taivas, his body, from head down, he was so immersed and he was so attracted to the physicality that it simply took him. Okay? But this is the real reason why the head is in Me'aras Machpelah. Because in essence, his philosophies were true. The problem with Esav that he didn't follow his philosophies. It says that Esav is like a pig. A pig is like, I'm kosher, because he has parsa. I'm kosher. But inside is not ma'alegera. He's not chewing twice. And in relation to what we say, Esav, you could sit with Esav and he would tell you, how do we give Meiser on salt? It's like, this guy is amazing, right? He can talk philosophies, and he would fly. But the Pe'al Mamesh, he was drawn to the world so much that he did not live by his philosophies. He did not live by his philosophies. He was showing himself like he's the highest. And listen, he really wanted. That's what it means he was a Jew. Philosophically, he believed in this stuff. He admired Yitzchak. He admired Yitzchak, his father. He wanted to follow him. But he was too attached to this is what it means. Also, he was red. Rashi says he was red because it has to do with killing, with the taiva of killing. To murder. That David HaMelech was also red-headed. It has to do with hot blood. So he had hot blood to the world. He was very hot on the world and everything. Okay? Yitzchak אהב אותו יותר, הכוונה היא, Yitzchak loved him more because, meaning that Yitzchak gave him more. In the Torah, to love, it's not like today in the world. To love, Yitzchak אהב את Esav. So, to love in this world, today people said, I love someone. To love, according to the Torah, is a practical thing. It's to give. Meaning, in other words, Yitzchak invested in more. Rivka invested more in Yaakov. Yitzchak invested more in Esav. Meaning, he's seen that Esav needs him more. That's it. הוא השקיע בו יותר. הוא ראה שהוא חלש. He saw that he's weak, but he also saw that he has good things in there. He's a potential. He has something. He has godly sparks. And later on, there is many converted people like Antoninus, the king of Rome, became a Jew. The Rabbi Meir, one of the great sages, and many converted people that came from the descendants of Esav. Okay. So Yitzchak saw it already there, and he wanted to bring those sparks out already, but he didn't. It wasn't the right way. Yitzchak was wrong. He tried, and he tried, but again, Rivka was the one, again, like with Avraham and Sarah, again, Rivka and Sarah was the realistic ones, and they knew how to, what is right and what is wrong. After all of the goodwill, you got to know what's going to work and what's not also. It's not enough to have a goodwill. Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Come to